Hello everybody! Today is the 23rd of July, and on the 25th of July that will be the anniversary of my locks, and so I decided I would like to just kind of take you through the year and let you know how things have been going. As you can see, I think they're growing pretty well. I'm happy with them. Maybe even happier than I was with them when I got started, so I'll tell you a little bit about that. I think first what I'll do is tell you why I decided to lock in the first place. I have loved my hair all my life. I think when I was younger, I wanted to try different things. Like I really wanted to straighten, but my mom wouldn't let me straighten until I turned 18. And I did that for about 12 months and then immediately reverted back to natural. I was like, I'm never gonna do that again. And a couple of times, I think since then, so I was 18. So then maybe when I was like 21 or 22, I did a blowout once and just to see how long it was, and it was like down here. And then I also just straightened it just to see how long. And again, it was pretty long. But I think I've always wanted locks. My mom would tell me stories about like being in the Caribbean and then looking at some of my aunts and uncles when they locked and just like how beautiful they were, especially one of my uncles who would like go into the water to wash his hair and then flip his hair back, and she was like, oh, it looked so beautiful. And so I have always felt like attached to the idea of locks, and every once in a while I would twist my hair and I'm like, I wonder what would happen if I just left it, and obviously it would lock, but you know, I would just kind of think it through. And finally last year I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. And so some of the reasons that I decided to was I love being in the water, but with having natural hair that was like loose, it would be harder to maintain washing it like 2 or 3 times a week. And I also just wanted a little bit less distraction. Like there's a lot of work, like actual work that I want to do, that I enjoy doing, and I kind of felt like my hair was taking a little bit more time, and so I wanted something low maintenance that I could get in the water with often, and then just kind of rinse or wash it, and then it dries out, and that's it. So I chose specifically to transition from twists because I was a little bit vain. I did not want to start from the beginning. I did not want to shave my head. What I would say is that if I did shave my head and start from the beginning, or cut my hair really short and start from the beginning, I do think they would have been thicker. Like you can kind of see these are not, they're they're not too thin and they're not too thick either. So I think, you know, I'll talk about regrets a little bit later, but I think there is a benefit to starting from the beginning and then maybe just kind of twisting instead of doing something like interlocking or crocheting. But I chose interlocking for the same reason why I transitioned to locks in the first place, was because when I interlock, that is instantly lock, basically instantly locking your hair. It doesn't mean that it's mature. It just means that it is set in place and it's not going to come apart when water touches it. And which transitions really into how I interlock and then how it goes really well with water. So what I usually do is, I know you can dry interlock or you can wet interlock, but I actually do an in-between. So I spray my hair, but specifically my roots to loosen up my roots and the hair closest to the root. So I spray it and then cover it with a cap for like 20 minutes. And then I interlock it really quick. And after I interlock it, I wash it. And I know for some, they're like, oh, wouldn't you wash then interlock? No. The reason why I interlock and then wash is so, like, again, the hair is damp, the roots are relaxed, the hair by the roots are relaxed, so I interlock it and it doesn't hurt. It feels like, after I do it, it feels like it's day 2 or 3, and then I wash it and then it relaxes again. So it feels like it's day 3 or 4 after it's interlocked. And I kind of came upon this because for a few months I was washing and then interlocking, and then my head would, like, I would get a headache and it would feel like my hair was just braided and it would hurt for like a few days. And so what I found was by doing it on damp hair and then washing my hair after, it just hurts a lot less. So how do I clean my hair? I've tried different things. So I tried the basin. I didn't like how it felt on my neck. And so this is another one that I modified, and I think I had seen it. Yeah, I definitely saw it on YouTube. And so I was like, oh, I'm gonna try that because it looks like it works out really well. So I do apple cider vinegar and baking soda in a bottle. And I think what I'll do is I'll just put that video in between here so you can actually see the instructions. A lot of people talk about lock detoxing, like soaking your locks, but I want to tell you about a really quick and easy alternative that doesn't require sitting still or tilting your head back for an extended period of time. So you want to go ahead and take some baking soda and fill it up to here, and then take some apple cider vinegar. You want to get it up to here, but go ahead and pour it in slowly because it's going to bubble. If you pour it in too fast, it'll completely bubble over and be a waste of your time. So pour the apple, and when the bubbles dissipate, then you're going to go ahead and start pouring water in. Again, when you pour the water in, do it slowly. And it's going to let you know when it's ready to be capped, because it'll stop bubbling and you'll be able to shake it. See? Just like this, barely any bubbles, right? That's what it's going to be like when you fill it up to here. Go ahead and soak your scalp with it, because you're really trying to get to the roots and the hair closest to the roots. That's where a lot of the buildup happens. And you'll put a cap over it, like a plastic cap over your head when you're done. I like to, once I soak the roots of my entire head, go ahead and spray down the shaft of my locks, just because buildup can happen along the length of the locks. It's just more likely to happen by the scalp. And I also squeeze my locks as I'm going to make sure that it's nice and absorbed, like it's absorbed. So you only need to soak your scalp for like 30 minutes or so. You don't want to go too much longer than that, because again, it's apple cider vinegar and that itches a lot after a long period of time. Soak your scalp and go ahead and rinse it out, and you will notice a significant difference. Locks are usually a little bit shinier, and obviously there's less buildup in them. So yeah, if you don't want to tilt your head back into a tub and detox that way, you can detox with a spray bottle. You're welcome. What I'm thinking of doing is switching to like a more industrial type bottle, because what happens is eventually the baking soda starts to settle at the bottom and sometimes catches in the tube for the spritzer. So then I end up taking the cap off and like putting it directly on my scalp. And anyway, regrets. Do I have any regrets? I think part of me wishes I loved water a little bit less, because if I did, then I would probably have bigger locks. They would probably be a little bit thicker. Like I think maybe they'd be like maybe that big instead of this big. That said, I do love my hair overall, and I'm enjoying my locks, and I'm enjoying water the way that I want to. And I think maybe the other thing I would have done differently is maybe go to a loctician, because I feel like the parts that I did, obviously I tried using a mirror and I tried using my phone to make sure that the parts were okay, but they're not perfect. It's very natural looking parts. And so I think I might have, in hindsight, gotten it professionally done, just so it wouldn't have been a bunch of different sizes, because you can't really see, but they're all sort of different sizes. And so maybe I would have done something a little bit more uniformed. But again, other than that, no regrets. I don't think I'm going to comb my hair out. I don't think I am going to cut my hair unless I have to. Overall, really happy with locks. I really enjoy having them. In fact, I would say the same thing that a lot of people say, is that I wish I had done this sooner. I wish I had switched to locks a little bit sooner. How fast is my hair growing? I'll do kind of like a compilation after this so you can see how much my hair has grown. But I think what I'll do is show you this one here. I think this is about 2 inches, maybe 2.5 inches. This one started from the beginning, so maybe on like the 30th of July, because I had started the rest of my hair. Oh, that's the other thing that happened. So you'll see that like I have more locks than I did twists, and what happened was after I did the video, I went back a couple of times and looked at the back of my head, and I was like, oh, I can split these in two, they're a little big. And so quite a few of the hair back here that was originally one twist turned into two. So I think I spent an additional hour or two just adding more. And so that's kind of what happened here too, is one of the twists got split, and then there was some left over, and I was like, oh, this can be its own lock. So yeah, this is how much my hair has grown in 12 months. And so I can expect, if nothing changes health-wise, I can expect about 2 inches like of interlock by next year. So maybe my hair will be a little bit closer to here by July 25th of next year. But we'll see. I'm not like expecting it. I enjoy this length, and to be honest with you, there's a small part of me that's a little hesitant about my hair being longer. But that said, I will, take whatever comes and just enjoy it. Overall, I think a lot of people talk about spiritual connection and how we carry our energy in our hair, and I do think that there is something to that. But if I'm being frank, it was kind of a spiritual move, but not exclusively. Like, really, I just, like, my connection to water is, I think, the spiritual motivation that I have. Like, it feels good to feel the water cascading down the top of my head, down my crown, and it feels good to connect to that. So for the sake of that, switching to locks, I think, was part of that. So yeah, I love it, and I might do another update 12 months from now, just so you can kind of see the difference between July 25th, 21, 22, and then maybe 23. We'll see. I don't know. But after this, please enjoy the compilation of videos or images, just kind of showing the progression of transitioning from twist to locks. And as you can see, you can't really tell that my hair was in twists. You have to get really close. I think you can kind of see the shape a little bit, sort of. You have to get really close to see that my hair was even in twists in the first place. So yeah, I love it. I enjoy it. And hopefully this video helps somebody who is thinking about transitioning from twists to locks, and just, getting to know their hair a little bit more and enjoying their journey. So take care, and I will see you when I see you. In other news, though, I did learn about it's not a new technique, but a different way to use crochet needles. And it's kind of mind-blowing. So check this out. So you go through, right? You hook the lock. Here's the thing. And you pull the lock through. That's literally it. Literally it. No, like, gel or weighting or clips, nothing. And then it's done.